We'll move on, guys, and now we're going to Joey over at the Angle Podcast. Joey, how are you doing? Welcome to the Press Pass, and what's your question for the Good Brothers?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Thanks for having me. And
What's up, Joey?
How you doing? And my question is for everybody here. I would love to hear D'Lo's response as well. So the Good Brothers are arguably one of the most iconic tag teams of this generation, and continuing building that legacy would mean to continue the belt collection. And now that we've seen AEW and Impact unify their world titles before, and your buddies, the Young Bucks, are no longer holding those titles at AEW, would it be possible, or will we ever see and new unified AEW and Impact World Tag Team Champions, Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson, the Good Brothers?
Why not, man? Why not? We love accolades. We love trophy collecting. We love check cashing. And we got big-ass mantles, so I don't think there's any reason not to. I think that would be absolutely excellent. I say absolutely.
Yeah, they're definitely, those are tag team championships we haven't held yet. And, probably, one of the only,
Recording in progress.
Awesome. Me as an Impact guy, I would love to see our greatest team go over and show the world that they're the greatest team in any company, at any time, any place. So I would love to see the Good Brothers go over there and bring back the AEW World Tag Team titles.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome, guys. And before I go, if I can just get a too sweet in the camera.
You got it.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You
I think we still do that.
All right, moving along. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, Joey. And let's keep going to the next question there. We've got a man I know very well and I've known for a long, long time.
Oh, baby.
And he's a great reporter, and he's honest and just a tremendous guy. Jim Barcelone from the Miami Herald. Jim, welcome to the Press Pass. How you doing, my man?
Hey, thank you, D'Lo. Thanks, everybody. Dr. Ross, Doc, Carl. Thank you for the good words as well, D'Lo.
They're deserved. They're deserved.
All right. Guys, I'll tell you what. What's interesting to me is that all these companies opening the door, so to speak, and Impact Wrestling, AEW, New Japan, NWA, we can go down the list. I'm wondering from your standpoint what it's been like navigating when you're working for different companies with different people in charge to do things that make sense because you're working for other companies.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same for us everywhere that we go. We want to make, a big impact. That's the flag that we wave. And no matter what, no matter who, no matter where, I think we have the same approach. It's strong confidence in who we are and what we do, and we show up and we deliver. So,
it's interesting because you got New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW and now Impact, and a lot of the people in charge of all these companies now, we've built relationships over the last 20 years. And it's funny the way things work out, how things happen, how situations arise, and who would have thought that this would have happened when we were running with the Bullet Club and the Young Bucks and Kenny and me and Gallows are in the room just sitting there talking. I mean, or in Rocky Romero and AJ Styles, and we're all sitting around, we're all sitting in the Tokyo Dome Hotel just, doing a talking shop and laughing. And you just never know that Rocky's going to be, he might not get a kayfabe in charge of New Japan. Or who would have thought that the Young Bucks were going to go and start this company with Kenny and find Tony Khan. And Scott D'Amore, sitting in the same room with us back in the day. Now he's, at the top of Impact Wrestling. It's just crazy to think about, from when we started in the year 2002 or whatever we did till 2021, the relationships you build sometimes really come back and just real, genuine relationships come back and now we're living it. It's pretty cool, man.
And then lastly for me is newer tag teams, up-and-coming tag teams. You guys, Carl, I know you're a good singles wrestler. Doc, you've done singles. And what are your thoughts, though, because you guys resonate together, such a great tag team, What are your thoughts of some of the younger ones, newer ones, I guess you'd say, that you've seen out there?
The landscape's forever changing, you know. It's just like the title situation right now in Impact Wrestling. We're not sure who it's going to be about for Glory. I know that Finn Juice and the Bullet Club are in the top of the rankings. Those are two New Japan teams that we have history with, but I still consider them up and coming tag teams, even though Finn Juice they dinged us and that surprised us. So we had it helped us shift gears and turn the heat back on and get back what was rightfully ours in the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championship. So there's a lot of teams with a lot of potential, but it's still that same old recipe: Magic Killer and a 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and like we're fans of the AEW Tag Team Champions now, Penta and Phoenix. Like those are guys that
they're great. Yep,
I would love to get in there with, and of course FTR guys can go back with a long way. It'd be cool to bring them over through the Forbidden Door and see what we can get done.
Yep.
Well, thank you all, and I'm wearing my Dolphins hat today, but D-Lo, go Bears.
Go Bears. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Thanks.
Recording in progress.
FTR, like I love dream matchups. I love when I see really pure wrestling out there. And you guys, man, those would be some awesome matches. Before I move on to Gary, though, I've got an announcement for those who are in the press pass. Coming up next week, we have 2 press passes. One on October 19th, hosted by Josh Matthews, and the guest will be the man who's going to face Christian Cage for the Impact World Championship, Josh Alexander. And then get this, the next day, October 20th, hosted by Gail Kim. First of all, hosted by Gail Kim.
That's a win right away.
That's a big one right there. We're going to have the Inspiration right here, made available for the press pass for the first time as Impact Talent. Both start at 2 p.m. Eastern next week, so make sure you guys get ready to be part of that. So now, good brothers, we're going to go over to Gary Rush from Sports Matters TV over in the great country of Ireland. Gary, how are you doing?
All right.
Hey guys. How are you guys?
Good, Gary.
Good. Thanks for your time. Just a quick 2-part question. When you successfully bend your titles up Bound for Glory,
I like this.
Are we going to see the Good Brothers versus the Gorillas of Destiny for the Impact titles? And second part of that question, if we do get to see that match, will it happen in an Impact ring, a New Japan ring, or an AEW ring? Which would you prefer?
I say do it in every ring. Do a best of 3 series with them if we get to that. That's a money match. Everybody knows it's a money match. There are a lot of factors that play into it actually happening with schedules and people being in and out of the country and things like that. But, yeah, they need slapped around a little bit for sure. So I would like to do it all 3 places personally.
Yeah, and I know the Bullet Club boys or the Tama and his brother are in, you know, with the environment that we're in right now, they're traveling overseas and especially to Japan. It's pretty tough. So they're there from like September until I don't want to give a schedule away, but it's a long time. So I think it's just trying to figure out schedules and ensure that we can do it right. But I think that it'd be cool to do some things at Impact, and of course, fly into Tokyo and do something at Ryogoku or the Tokyo Dome. I think is where the real fans want to see it all.
Well, if I can get flights to Japan, I'll be following you over there.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's open it back up, baby.
Please.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you very much. Thank you, Gary. Man, you guys know the Japanese experience is amazing. To go over there, land at Tokyo Dome, and come back as an established star. It's an amazing feeling. So you guys get to go back to Japan. I might be hiding in your luggage with you because I got to see that match myself.
Please do. Please do. You're always welcome.
Let's take ourselves over to the UK. We got Dane Nelson from Hooked on Wrestling. Dane, how are you doing, my man?
I'm great, thank you. How are you doing?
I cannot complain. What's your question for the Good Brothers?
What's up, dude?
So I've got 2. My first, if that's all right, my first one's for the 2 of you. So I first came across Talk and Shop on Talk is Jericho a few years ago when you were with WWE. And I found that to be just like way more funny than I thought it would have been.
Or should have been.
Yeah, and then everything you've done since, like the Boneyard match, that killed me way more than it done. But then in the ring, obviously, you're all kind of business, and you're mean. You can be quite mean. So I wonder, as people who've walked that line for quite a while, where do you think the line ends between meaning business and being intimidating and being funny within the wrestling industry?
I think it's situational. Talking Shop-A-Mania is, we like to call it an alternate universe where we can turn on a different side of our personalities, like you see on our podcast, Talking Shop, which a new episode drops every Sunday. But Talking Shop-A-Mania is a way to express, our real sense of humor. But when, we're in Impact Wrestling, we're in the title picture, when we're at AEW as members of the Elite, we're in New Japan Pro Wrestling, carrying the heavy legacy that we do, then it's all business. So I think as an entertainer, as a performer, you have to be able to show both sides. That's what range truly is. And I think that over the last couple of years especially, Karl and I have showed that we absolutely have it. So I think it's been a blessing.
We have lots of range. We're very highly skilled actors, as you can tell from the Boneyard match.
Thespians, if you will.
Talking Shop Mania 2, the way we placed ourselves in our method acting. I think if you know us, if people know us at all, they know that we like to. I think what gets us off the most is making people laugh.
Yeah.
And that's our true, personal identities. We just love to make people laugh, man. And but sometimes, in the ring you got to be serious or be mean or whatever. It's fun to go back and forth and to have that Talking Shop-A-Mania outlet to be funny. And there was times on Impact we tried to be funny and we got pulled aside by the boss and was like, hey, it wasn't really the time for that. Because I think the only people that thought it was funny was us. But sometimes
we need to dial it back, but that's all right.
But you gotta take chances,
Yeah. And then my second question is just to Doc. With Serena Deeb and CM Punk both competing on AEW, where you guys obviously visit quite often, do you ever feel a pull back to your kind of roots as Gallows at all?
I really don't, because I feel like that chapter of the book is kind of closed for everybody. That's a piece of WWE history that's over a decade old now. I think people have a fond remembrance of the group, and I've always said I thought the group could have gone further. But I think Serena is well established in her career as a singles performer on the women's side in a big way. I'm really happy and proud for her. You see the star power that CM Punk has accrued on his own, and we got our own niche too. I mean, the Machine Gun and I are undoubtedly one of the best tag teams in the entire world, and the Good Brothers, we're a brand now, man. It's not just an act that can break up and come back and do all that kind of stuff. We're branded. We're business partners. We're best buddies, so I think it's probably better to leave that in the past and let it be if it was a fond memory for you, great. If not, it's already done with, so don't worry about it.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Thank you.
I might come back as Festus. I don't know.
Thank you, Dane, and I'd pay to see Festus come back.
Royal Rumble, January.
You might be the only one, dude.
I think I might be the only one ever who would pay for Festus. Anyway, let's take ourselves over.